Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we're in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. This was the scene a few minutes ago, the dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Baker Mayfield, the second-year quarterback from Oklahoma, will pilot this offense as the Browns get set for their first drive. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 20 carries, 73 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
I'd say it's a pretty nice debut season for Nick Chubb in 2018. He fell just 4 yards short of a 1,000-yard season as a rookie, but he did average over 5 yards per carry and had a 92-yard touchdown run against the Atlanta Falcons, the third longest run in the league last season.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And there he is, Mr. Excitement, Juju Smith-Schuster, who last year led the Pittsburgh Steelers in receiving yardage and was named the team's MVP. Also went to the Pro Bowl at the end of the season, and over the last 2 seasons has the 2 longest receptions in the NFL, both for 97 yards and a touchdown.
And it's intercepted. Picked off here to 32. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Here we go.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We've got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. That's caught. The former USC Trojan, Xavier Grimble. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest?
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing, Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and set things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's got Higgins over the middle. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Remember, right now they are on a 6-game losing streak, trying to snap that. And a good sign is they've got the lead in the football. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. And some room to run now. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Black 20. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On second down, it's Connor. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
180. 56, right there, 56. All day, baby, all day.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. Now Roethlisberger. That's caught inside the 20. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run with Connor. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Black 30. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Let's go. Black and turn.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces.
When that works, your offensive coordinator looks like a genius. When it doesn't, it leaves folks saying, what are you doing? Down here, I'd rather have my tailback running off tackle than something off the radar like this.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Roethlisberger toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
On third and goal, Roethlisberger to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Following the penalty, Chubb trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle. Mayfield from the gun on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow. Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. Now it's Conner. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Switch up, switch up.
Now Ben on third and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Mayfield, he's got Njoku over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
A run for Nick Chubb. And an alley to run. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 96 yards. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He's going to float this over the middle deep. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Landry. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, maybe pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Mayfield to throw it. And he's caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got it open, and he completes it to Callaway. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A second down throw for Mayfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll give it to Chubb, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make them.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Ready? Black 20. 56. Hey, here I come. Here I come.
Now on second and 13. Roethlisberger trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. And maybe so well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now Mayfield over the middle to Beckham. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. The throw over the middle taken in, and he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Check three.
Now Chubb running right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. Finding Harris over the middle. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. From the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
Here comes the ball. I see you, boy. I see
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this run.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On second down now, Samuels. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27th.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Trying to get the first with Samuels. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stops right around the 29. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it with Connor. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they... And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Let's go.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And an alley to run. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Slam, slam, slam.
And again, it's Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. They start with a give to Connor. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Here's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield rolling to his right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They run it again with Chubb. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He finds Beckham complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Throwing, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, Samuels. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Roethlisberger. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And the Browns getting set to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 10. He's going to let it fly, and that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter, Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they lose their 9th game on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.